Donald Trump is at it again with his batshit crazy, or shall I say, it continues because I don't believe it ever stopped. Over the last couple of days leading up to tomorrow's big debate against Kamala Harris, he has gone nuts, even more nuts. He's talked about how you just drop off your children at school, and by the time they get home, they had an operation. They had a gender reassignment operation, and then decades and decades will go by, and the kids will be like, "Hey, when did this happen?" Like that type of thing. Yeah. And then he talked about the Keystone pipeline being Keystown and a tampon is tampon. And calling Elon Musk Leon, talking about how Elon Musk is actually going to be part of his cabinet. Steve Bannon, who's in jail right now, is going to be part of his cabinet. Michael Flynn is, the guy who was kind of, pardoned for like treason and all that other stuff. The general who sold secrets and did all that other fun stuff, being a good patriot that he is, a MAGA patriot. He's going to be part of the cabinet. So all these little things are being dropped as he's talking about gender reassignment surgery just during the day, during second period, somewhere along those lines. The response to another tragic school Pew Pew issue was, it's just a part of life. His vice president was very, very proud to say this is just a part of life. We just got to deal with it. Trump's take was, we just got to get over it. Like he said to the other one, so nothing a family wants to hear after losing a loved one, losing a child, or losing a husband and a wife who's a teacher protecting children, is that they just got to get over it, thoughts and prayers. So all that happened. And he's talking about the seriousness of Kamala Harris having to stand on a box and how unfair it is because, he wanted mics muted and he wanted all these things. So, well, he didn't. His campaign wanted it to try and keep him under control because he won't know when to shut up. He is going absolutely crazy. I don't know how the news media, the Republicans, jumped all over Joe Biden for answering slowly or looking sick or acting like he's old because he's old and demanding him to pull out of the race, but yet they don't pay attention to any of these batshit crazy things that Donald Trump says. He's talking about how in a press conference over the weekend at Trump Tower, the same building his wife lives in, he's going on and on about all these different allegations of sexual assault and rape. So he started digging in again on E. Jean Carroll. And then he brought up a whole nother case that has been out of the news for quite a while, which leads me to believe his lawyers have been contacted recently about the case, talking about how they're all lying and and he would never, and they're not pretty enough to be anyone that I would ever essay, and I wouldn't do that. Look at her, that type of stuff. So the thing he lost two major lawsuits about, over $120 million combined, plus interest, he's defaming again. So he's doing it again. The potential of another lawsuit. And then he brought into the reporter from the people, and his wife is right upstairs. When was the last time we saw her support her husband? But Donald Trump is attacking Kamala Harris and her marriage, and Tim Walz and his family for not supporting him. His distant relatives that he doesn't even know their names or, whatever. But his own family, his own wife. If this did happen on the Democratic side of the fence, the media would be all over it. They were all over Joe Biden. They called for his stepping down from the ticket. And nothing is being said about Donald Trump doing this. MAGA is silent. They deny it ever happened, even though it's on camera and it happens over and over and over again. We went from windmills giving whales cancer, giving us cancer and driving whales crazy, to electric boats with big batteries and would you take the shark or electrocution, to all of this. This is a man who said he invented the term prime the pump. who looked at the U.S. as in United States. He goes, U.S., that's us. No one's ever thought of that before. Was standing on the ashes of 1,000 people in in Paradise, California, talking about how the problem would have been solved if you just raked the forest. And thank you for having me here in pleasure, as the governor behind him and the mayor of the town of, you know, it's a pleasure. 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 It's paradise. If Joe Biden said any of this shit, any of it, what would happen? Would it be on a loop on every major news? But I mean, come on. This is the future of our country right now. We got this guy who, at the end of this month, the evidence will come out about how he orchestrated an attack on the Capitol building to overthrow a free and fair election. He came out in an interview and said he lost 2020 by a whisker. By a whisker. He said that. He has said he lost the 2020 election a dozen different times. There are still 70% of Trump supporters believe that he didn't lose the election. He has said it over and over and over again. Nick Fuentes, his right-wing schnazi buddy that he dedicated his life to, this guy, got pissed off and ripped him apart in an interview because he admitted he knew he lost from the beginning, over and over and over again. If MAGA is listening to everything he says and every word is gospel, then I guess electric boats, whales, wind. When the wind stops blowing, we lose all of our electricity. When is the stupidity going to ring a bell? When are MAGA people going to go, yeah, that's no stable genius stuff? What do you need? How many indictments and criminal charges and audio tapes of him sharing classified information, video of him loading boxes and boxes of classified information into that's backed up by evidence that it was all done on purpose and secretly, until you go, that guy's still classified information. What do you need? What exactly do you need? He is going more and more crazy by the moment. At what point are you going to go, all right, that's it, I'm tapping out, this guy's freaking nuts? What is it going to take? Seriously. I'm asking. Because you drop your child off at school and he gets a transition therapy to another sex by the time he gets picked up? You guys just let that slide by? You guys don't even notice. But you say America first. Where's the America first part? I'm asking, where is the America first part? You're not patriots at all. You're sheep with red hats, gold sneakers, sticky page Bibles, and a $25 box of cereal. But bitch about the grocery prices that your party's basically responsible for. You're all stable geniuses.